She said it so casually. Go buy some gas. Take my car. I looked at her. Her lips curved into that practiced smile, the one she used when she wanted me gone. The sunlight caught her wedding ring, still on her finger, still glinting like a promise that had long since rotted. But her eyes, they gave her away. There was something behind them, something cold, something final. I nodded. Sure. And in that moment, I already knew. It started 3 months ago. The distance, the late-night showers, the phone turned face down, always on silent. At first, I thought it was stress. She'd been restless, snappy. I'd been patient, blind even. But there's only so long a man can pretend not to see what's right in front of him. The first real clue came from the car. Her perfume, wrong brand. Her seat pushed back farther than her legs could ever reach. And a receipt. A hotel. 2 nights in a row. I didn't confront her. I just folded the paper, tucked it in my wallet, and smiled when she came home late, smelling of someone else's cologne. People make mistakes. I just wanted to see how far she'd go. Her sister, Leela, was different, soft-spoken, too honest for her own good. She'd always looked at me like she knew something wasn't right between us. One evening, she stopped by while my wife was working late. I offered her coffee. She said something that changed everything. She mentioned going up to the lake with you next weekend, she said, stirring her cup. You're lucky she's been planning it for weeks. I smiled, pretending to understand, but my wife hadn't mentioned any trip. That night, I checked her phone while she slept. The message thread with Mark confirmed what I already suspected. Plans, lies, disgusting affection. But one line stood out, he'll be gone by the weekend. I'll make sure of it. It wasn't about leaving me. It was about erasing me. The next morning, she kissed my cheek like nothing was wrong. I'll take the car in for service today, she said. When she returned, the brakes were fixed. She insisted I drive her car to work. She even smiled while handing me the keys. That's when it clicked. The sudden generosity, the new life insurance policy she'd made me sign last week, her accidental texts about how dangerous that stretch of road was. She wanted me dead in what looked like an accident so she could cry over the ashes. So I played along. Take my car, she said again that morning. I looked at her, catching the faint trace of guilt behind her forced cheer. Actually, I said, Leela's borrowing it. Her engine's been acting up. Her smile faltered, but I handed the keys to her sister anyway, right in front of her. Leela thanked me and drove off. My wife just stood there, pale, her lips parting as if she wanted to speak but couldn't find the words. I walked back inside, quiet, calm, and waited. That night, the knock came, heavy, relentless. 2 officers stood at the door. Their faces told me everything. There'd been an accident. Her car. No brakes. I didn't ask who. I already knew. They said Leela died instantly. My wife screamed until her voice gave out. I didn't. I just watched her collapse in the doorway, sobbing into her hands, mascara streaking down her face. She didn't know I'd already inspected the car after her service appointment. I knew exactly what she'd done. I also knew she'd made sure there'd be no trace of tampering, except I'd taken photos, videos, the mechanic's confession after I paid him more than she did. All of it stored safely away. She buried her sister with trembling hands. And for the first time, she looked at me with something real. Not love, not hatred, just fear. I never said a word. I didn't need to. The silence between us was louder than any scream. She started to unravel. First the pills, then the paranoia. She couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. Every knock, every ring, every creak made her jump. Until one night she found a flash drive on her pillow. It contained every photo, every video, every message, and one final file, a recording of her own voice. He'll be gone by the weekend. I watched her listen from the hallway, her shoulders shaking. "What do you want from me?" she whispered. "Nothing," I said. "You already gave it." 3 weeks later, she left. "Drove out of town," they said. "No note, no goodbye, just gone." I still keep the wedding ring she left on the counter, not as a memory, but as evidence of what love turns into when it's poisoned by greed. People ask why I never remarried. I tell them peace doesn't need company. Sometimes at night, I replay the knock on the door in my mind. The sound of justice arriving late, but arriving nonetheless. And every time I do, I remember her face that morning when I handed the keys to Leela, that faint, flickering moment when she realized I already knew.